Oh no.
Oh, we're missing an ear.
I'm the abyss.
And we said there weren't going to be any
Oh,
bloopers this time.
We don't have ears. Don't say cheers.
There you are.
Hey, there I am. Not in the ear
Hey.
anymore though, but it's all good.
All goes as planned. At least we're facing the right way this
Yeah,
time.
I mean, yeah, we're off to a good start. Hopefully it stays that way.
So for those of you who watched episode 1, we're glad you came back for episode 2. For those of you who didn't watch episode 1, we won't hold it against you too much.
Nah.
Just as long as you stay on there.
Yeah.
And then a little Easter egg there. You were at a 2.1x zoom on the camera.
I am?
Yeah. And
Oh.
the joys of everything. We're going to get better equipment one day, right?
Yes, equipment's on the list for sure.
All right, so we have another show, and we wanted to go over a few different topics as well as discuss some of the news coming up.
News and money saving tips, because, I mean, obviously people want to save some money when you go to Disney. So, hot topic.
And so before we get going with all the stuff we got planned for today, we're fixing to be at Disney World soon. And so I kind of thought it'd be neat if anyone watching wants to type on the chat or leave us a comment or just talk to me face to face if you're someone who knows us. Just what are some things you'd like to see me and my family do at Disney World? Like what are some things you really want to see us maybe try out that you're curious of, or different videos you want to see, or a picture in a certain spot? And I will do that as best as I can. And then when we get back, we can do a
recap.
Yeah. And have nice, fun videos on there.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is show you Everest again for 5 seconds so that I can change one of the scenes here. There we go. This was so planned.
Absolutely. Very spur of the moment. We were
Yes.
supposed to do this Tuesday, but here we are.
I'm going to create something new. Yeah. Can you vamp?
Can I vamp?
Just give me a second here. I got one of my scenes that is messed up. And it's one we need badly. That's not it.
We are so sorry. Just don't click out. Oh, are we trying to get that on there?
I'm trying to get an iPad on here. It is not working at the moment. So we're going to go with another plan. This isn't it, but it'll work.
Yeah.
All right. So we talked about Genie Plus last time, and I mentioned that there were some things that are just not available on Genie Plus. And just last week, they announced that it's already began, but starting 2 days ago, they were taking 3 of the rides from that individual Lightning Lane a la carte purchase and moving them to regular Genie Plus. So that includes at Magic Kingdom Space Mountain, at Epcot Frozen Ever After, and at Hollywood Studios Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. So if you happen to get one of those, if you happen to get Genie Plus, those rides are available with your Genie Plus purchase. You do not have to pay individually for each of them. So I'm very much against Genie Plus.
Same.
I don't like it,
Yep.
but I think I'm going to probably end up doing it at least Studios and Magic Kingdom.
This is worth it if you're going in that time frame.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Because of, spring break's going to be busy.
Yes.
President's Day was horrible. So,
Yeah,
but
spring break is busy.
They had at least a little bit more value to it.
Yes, absolutely.
So we're happy for that. But we wanted to do. We always get questions about how much does Disney cost, especially how much. How do you afford $10,000? And it doesn't have to be that much. And so what we're going to do now is kind of talk over some money saving tips that you can actually do with regards to Disney trips.
Mm-hmm. So I think, are you ready? Do you want to?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, number one, obviously, to save your coins, you don't have to stay on Disney property. You can stay at a Good Neighbor Hotel, which are neighboring hotels that are just a couple miles away from Disney. And, there's pros and cons to this. Obviously, the major con is you will not be in the Disney parks. And you will also have to figure out your own transportation to and from the parks. You can either drive, which you'll have to pay a parking fee each time, entering the parks. Or you could Uber or taxi or anything like that. The major pro to that is obviously you save money. You save lots of money there. If you are like me and you just do not see yourself being able to stay off-site, you can go. There's about 3 different major budget brackets for resorts. There's a value, a moderate, and a deluxe. And I think they pretty much speak for themselves, 1, 2, and 3. You got your cheapest price bracket, which are the value hotels. These are going to be your cheapest Disney properties. They're going to be extremely themed. I love the decor there. I want to know I'm at Disney at all times when I'm at Disney, and that's what you get with your value properties. They're themed kind of as like Little Mermaid, Cars, Finding Nemo, super fun themes. They've all have food courts. Every resort have food courts, so you won't have to worry about going off your property at nighttime to go find something to eat or anything like that. You will always have a food option no matter where you're staying. They do have the smaller rooms. That's what you're going to expect with a value resort. But again, these are going to be your cheapest. These are an example of kind of what you're looking at per night. If you get kind of like a bundle, and this is where we like to throw in the travel agents again, they will combine your ticket price with your hotel price and kind of put it all together for you. Also, you will get transportation when you stay at a value resort. The bus will pick you up from your resort and take you to whichever park you're trying to go to. The only thing bad about this transportation option is that typically during all the bus stops, the value ones are at the very end of the line. So not only are you walking from the park to the buses, which is a good long walk, you're going to have to walk to the very end of the line at your bus stop. Not a big deal, but it's something to keep in mind. Also, some of these actually have the Skyliner transportation. Pop Century is one of them that has one. I believe that's all that has them, right?
Art of Animation does as well.
Art of Animation does as well. If you're staying at Art of Animation, you can walk over to the neighbor hotel, which is Pop Century, and hop on the Skyliner there. The Skyliner is kind of like a, what do you call it? Like a tram?
Gondola, like an
gondola
enclosed
tram.
ski lift.
Yeah, like an enclosed ski lift type deal, and it'll take you to certain parks. I do want to mention Art of Animation. It's kind of a higher priced value hotel. 6 people staying with you, you can do that. It's got 2 separate bedrooms and it has 2 bathrooms. So that's kind of a cool thing about Art of Animation. Next, we'll talk about, your moderate resorts. Your moderate resorts will have more sophisticated decor, so they won't be so childish. Bigger rooms, a little bit nicer dining options. They'll have a food court, but sometimes they'll have you a little sit-down dinner or breakfast, or however you want to use that. They may have water slides with their pools, where value ones will not. They will have really cool pools and really fun ones, but they usually don't have water slides. Obviously, you're going to be paying a little bit more, and your transportation is going to be a little bit better, not much. A major con about moderate resorts is they are huge. They're extremely big, and walking from one building to your main building is going to be quite the trek. Some of the moderate resorts, Port Orleans, Riverside, Coronado Springs, hotels like that.
And if you notice, they're not always that much cheaper.
Right. Yep, that's true.
And I mean, because if we look back at the Art of Animation, the dates that we priced it were about $245, and
Yes.
one of the moderates was only $280 a night.
Yep.
And
So
there's not too much.
No, I mean, you're really not losing out on much, and that's what I'm saying. Like Art of Animation, it kind of teeters the border of moderate hotel and value when you're looking at a family suite. So if you're looking at a family suite, you might as well just go ahead and pick up a moderate resort for that price. Then we're going to talk about the deluxe resorts, and these are the cream of the crop. Obviously, you're going to pay your big bucks for that. The beautiful, elegant decor. Think of it as like Las Vegas style resorts. It's got shops in them. It's got good restaurants. Sometimes you can even walk to your parks. You're in walking range distance to get to your parks. Also, all your rooms will be inside, hotel style. On the moderate and value, they could be outside like a motel style. So there's that benefit as well. Like I said, you're going to be paying for this type of hotel. But an example of a deluxe is the Animal Kingdom Lodge. Some of those rooms you can literally stand on your balcony, and the savanna animals like giraffes and zebras and ostriches are right there just for you to wake up and enjoy. Here's kind of the price idea that you're looking at for deluxe hotels. While we're on this topic, I want to give an honorable mention to a resort called the Swan and Dolphin Hotel. This one is not owned by Disney, but it's called a Good Neighbor Hotel. But it is right there within walking distance to Hollywood Studios and Epcot. You could literally walk from this hotel to that. And look at that price joint. Like, you can't beat that. That's kind of a moderate price range for a deluxe resort. I mean, you really can't beat that. And you get some of the hotel perks that Disney hotels offer you, which I forgot to mention. Sometimes staying on site will pay for itself in the only reason that you can get extra magic hours, which means you can go to the parks before or after somebody who's staying off-site can't get into.
And they have changed it up. It used to be each day there would be a park that would have 1 hour early or perhaps extra hours later.
Right.
And if you wonder how they work that, after a certain time, you would have people at rides that would scan your magic band to make sure you're staying at a resort. And if you're not, then they kind of
You
just
got to
escort
get out. So that is a huge perk to staying on site, along with transportation. Used to, if you were doing a dining option, you would get to make your dining reservations well before someone who wasn't staying on site. Also, your ride fast passes, you were able to go ahead and book those and choose your fast passes for your rides.
But of course, that's all gone now.
Of course, that's all gone.
And,
Hopefully, dining will come back, and you'll get to do that too. But
And I forgot to mention that the change is it's now just 30 minutes early for a resort,
yes,
but it's for every park. So
Yes.
I'm hoping that means there will be fewer people rushing to one park for magic hours. That there'll be it's just going to be crazy busy.
yes, it is. But anyway, going back to this, the major tip here is obviously you're going to save more money staying off site. But if you want to stay on site, there is a way to do it, and that's by booking a value resort.
We have stayed at Disney World a few different times, and we have never gone past value. We had one night
Same.
that was at Art of Animation. That was kind of a special deal. We've done Pop Century, and we've done All-Star Movies and All-Star Music twice. And one thing you noted that if you get a standard room, you're like way far back from the cafeteria, you're way
Right.
far back from the bus line. But if you're staying at Pop Century or Art of Animation, the Skyliner is actually at the back of those resorts. And so if you're planning on using the Skyliner for Studios and Epcot, it actually is pretty good for you to be that far back because you
Yep.
won't have to walk as far.
Yep. Yeah, definitely don't let the value scare you away, because honestly, they're super nice hotels, all of them. You're not going to get something dirty, something trashy, something unappealing to your eye. You're going to be comfortable wherever you stay. That's a fact.
And one other money-saving thing I forgot about that we didn't talk about earlier in the pre-show was there are times where you can go to the concierge desk and you can say, hey, I want to decline room service while we're staying
yes.
here. And they'll give you, I think it's $5 per day that
Uh-huh.
you do that.
Yep.
But they give it to you in the form of a gift card. So if you're staying 5 nights and you say that, they'll give you a $25 Disney gift card, and you can use those anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. That is a good thing. It's called mousekeeping instead of housekeeping. It's super cute. But if you decline mousekeeping and you don't want them to come in your room and make your bed and whatnot, you get paid for that.
Who makes their bed anyway?
Exactly. You're on vacation.
Kids don't listen to me. Make your beds.
Yeah.
But and also, you know, you can still get your towels. Like you can just still go up there and request
Right.
for new towels. It's not like you have to, live in filth or something
No,
like that.
no, never.
All right. And another big thing that costs money is the food.
Oh yeah.
There's no McDonald's inside a Disney park.
No.
There is something for everybody. There's some really good food there, and we're going to
Oh
have a show later that's going to be devoted to just talking food. And we're going to have Candace on here talking about waffles at Sleepy Hollow.
that was really good.
But in general, it's just how do you get through Disney and not starve and not break the bank on food?
One major tip is, you know, I would say, and this is my opinion, but I think you would agree, breakfast is kind of mediocre. You know, breakfast is pretty much the same wherever you go. Um, so why not stop at your Walmart before you get to your resort and make your breakfast in your room before you go? I think, does Pop Century have kitchenettes?
I can't remember. It's been about 7 years since we were there.
Art of Animation, the family suite will have a kitchenette to where you can cook, and it has a full-size fridge.
I think most of the value ones have a half fridge and a microwave.
Okay. Well, if you can, you know, you can even make sandwiches, you know, something. You can make a meal in your room to at least save that, and then go out for dinner or something. You know, go find you a restaurant and eat you a dinner out.
And if you don't have a rental car or don't want to pay for an Uber to go anywhere, then you can also get a, I guess usually it's a 7-day or 14-day free trial of Walmart Plus if you haven't already used it. And since you're in a big city like Orlando, they will usually deliver it straight to your room.
Yep.
Gunner had to get some of his glasses, I don't know what the things are that go behind your ears are called, lost some of them at one of the parks one day.
Oh.
And we got on Amazon Prime and ordered some, and by the time we got back to the room that day, they were sitting there on our bed.
That's awesome.
It's awesome and creepy at all at the same time.
We said no mousekeeping.
So someone came in there, but they
Yeah.
left us stuff, so it's okay. But yeah, and even if you do, the portions are pretty good.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, you could share easily.
It's not like Big Texan 72-ounce steak,
No.
but a couple of adults or a couple of kids, or at least an adult and a kid could share.
Yes.
And they have options. I was looking at the menus the other day, and they have a range of prices at Hollywood Studios from like $12 an entree to about $18,
Mhm.
not including drinks.
Mhm.
And if you take water bottles into the park, you can refill those.
Yep.
Take in some of those little flavor packets so your kids will actually drink the water. And you can just refill them over and over again and just budget it kind of that way.
Speaking of sharing size portions, you can also, as an adult, order a off the kids menu. And when I say order off the kids menu, I'm not saying you're limited to hot dogs and chicken nuggets. You can get anything that the adults can get. Like, your options are not limited if you order off the kids menu, and you can do that. They won't look down on you or anything for that. So you can get a kids menu portion, and it's still pretty much the same.
I'm glad you brought that up because I wasn't for sure on that, because both of my kids are now adults in Disney's eyes. So I'm
Yep.
grateful for that knowledge.
Yep, you can. And 3 and under eat free. So
I don't know why you would ever bring a 3-year-old to Disney World.
why not?
I'm just kidding. Brooklyn was 3 when we first got
Oh, well.
She turned 4 at the park, but
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, she'll never have a better birthday again.
No.
Right?
No,
Never.
definitely not. Absolutely not.
There is one other good money-saving thing that we can discuss, and that is when you're actually planning every aspect of a Disney trip, you could go ahead and get one of these. And I know a lot of people are sitting there going, I don't want a credit card. A lot of people don't want to use credit cards. That's perfectly fine. But the red card, you can get it as a credit card or you could get it as a debit card, where you simply link it to your bank. And after you have linked it to your bank, you use it just like a debit card. You scan it, you put in a little PIN code, and a day or two later, it comes out of your bank. But every single purchase you make at Target is 5% off, and that includes Disney gift cards. So we had done in the past, we'd gone to Sam's Club because
That's
they
what we
have,
did. Hmm.
you can get a $500 gift card for $484.16, or you can get a $150 gift card for $142. I bought a lot of these.
Yep. That's how we paid for our trip. We just bought
And the value is
tons
actually
of those.
the value is better if you got the 150 instead of the 500. I don't know when
Yeah.
Sam's Club started being cheaper, not buying in
Yep.
bulk, but okay. But it's better with the red card because you get 5% off. So that $500 card is only $475. And yes, okay, it's $25 off, but over time that adds up. If you're spending $1,000, if you're spending $2,000,
Yep.
or if you're getting one of the deluxe resorts, you might need to be spending a lot, and every
Really.
little penny counts.
And a good way to do that is if you're booking a travel agent, you can put $200 down for your whole entire family, and gradually, pay your trip off throughout up until 30 days before you check
Yeah,
into
and
your
it's-
resort.
It was 30 days before. They changed it because of COVID, because what happens if someone gets COVID right before they go? And
Right.
I'm not for sure what the rules are now.
Uh,
Check with Disney always to see
Right.
what those are. But rates, a good point is you only have to put 200 down.
Yep.
And you can pay it off how often or whenever you like, but it doesn't have to be paid off till 30 days out. And prices do go up at Disney.
mhm.
After we booked our trip, prices went up.
But you're
we were
locked in. You're locked in on your price that it was previous before they raised the price after you put your deposit down. And I think you can book a trip, what is it, a year and a half in advance?
It's close to it. They have a certain windows where
Mhm.
they will open up the calendar,
Yep.
and but it's close to about a year and a half. And if they come up with a deal later on down the line, you can always sit there and call up Disney or get on chat on Disney's website, and they will apply that deal. We were able to get about $100 knocked off of ours because they started the promotion afterwards.
Yeah, and that's a really good thing. That's a good point as well, is if you have a travel agent that you're booked through, they will literally look for the promotions that come out, while you're paying this trip off. You might not even know it, but they've already got your hotel moved because there was a promotion at this hotel, and they've got you squared away over there, and it's a cheaper deal. And I mean, they work for you. It's 100% worth it.
I talked with Mike whenever he called me up from offtoneverland.com, and he said, I know about those promotions before anyone else does.
Yeah, they really do.
They let those people know first so that they can take care of their own.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a lot of things that can disagree with that Disney does, or nickel and dime with the Genie Plus,
Yeah.
but they will honor those prices even if you had already booked.
Yep.
So I like that one. But now you get there, and another advice with the gift cards, you can use that to pay off your trip. You can use that at restaurants. You can use that for souvenirs and merchandise. You can link it to your Magic Bands to pay with that. And you can go to DisneyGiftCard.com, add all of yours in electronically, move balances around so you have them on one card. Or if you get one card, you can split them to different balances so you can kind of allowances for kids. So there's lots of good things, but that's my big tip with that.
I agree with that 100%. Pay for your trip in gift cards. 100%, hands down.
And if you cancel, well, you just got the next trip already paid for because
go.
all that money will come back to a gift card.
Yep. And you can cancel and get a full refund up to that 30 days out.
Yes.
Am I correct? Yeah.
And after 30 days until like 10 days under the old way was you didn't get the $200 deposit back,
Right.
but that's all you would lose.
Right.
So there's some options there.
Mhm.
But as we get into the planning your trip, you're now at, that's not the right one. There we go. You're now at Disney World. And we get this question a lot. I've answered this question a lot, and I'm not going to give you the full novel length version I usually give. This is overwhelming. Where do I go? Look at that map. It's crazy. And it is crazy. This is the Magic Kingdom. And so what we're going to do here is give you a...
Go ahead and mention that there's 4 parks.
Yes, there are 4 parks there. You have the Magic Kingdom, you have Hollywood Studios, Animal Kingdom, and Epcot. And all of Epcot I couldn't get to fit on the screen. There's more up there at the top. But we'll start at the big one, Magic Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
You get there, and their terminology you need to know is rope drop. That means you're there not at park open. You're there 45 minutes to an hour before park open, or before early hours if you're staying on site.
Yep.
And you wonder, where do I go to first? So the answer in 2022 is you're going to go right over here. That is Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. It is the newest ride that opened back in 2015, and it is a family coaster. Despite any pictures you may have ever seen of me screaming my head off at it, I assure you it is a family coaster. If you're watching this after 2022, you're going to want to go here first. That's the
Yeah,
big one.
absolutely.
That's the one we're bummed about. They've taken longer to build this ride than they did the entire Magic Kingdom. Send your complaints to Bob Chapek or Bob Iger or Josh Diamario. Just
Don't
complain
notice.
to anyone but a cast member. Don't complain to them. They're lovely people.
Yes, absolutely.
But you will get there for rope drop, and the path you want to take is just straight down Main Street. Avoid every one of the people taking photos. You can do that later. Go through here, kind of
That's
like
the
you
castle.
are headed off past the castle. You'll pass by the Merida photo opportunity right there from Brave. Past the teacups. I know it's hard to, but don't ride the
I
teacups
don't care for the
first.
teacups. They make me sick.
And your entrance will be right over here. And that is the quickest way to get to Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Most people will probably cut through the castle and get hung up right around Stroller Central here.
Mhm.
But just take this little route. That will be the ride you want to take. If you're there after Tron opens, then just cut off this way and go through Tomorrowland and go to there.
On Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, don't think that you're running to this ride because it's the best ride in Magic Kingdom. In my opinion, it's highly underwhelming. It's just got such a long wait time all the time, constantly. You won't really find a time of the day where the line is short. So go there first.
It's definitely not a thrilling roller coaster.
No,
But it's fun and it's smooth.
it is fun. It's fun. It's smooth. Your children are gonna love it. It's a cool themed roller coaster. I mean, there's a lot of story going on.
Tick, 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 tick,
Ye-
tick, tick, tick. Stuck in your head now.
Yep. So yeah, I don't skip it. Just go do it and get it. Get it out of the way. Get it out of the way early, so you don't have to waste your time waiting a whole bunch of time in line.
By the way, you want to know what was the problem with my iPad earlier?
What?
I didn't have it plugged in.
That'll do it.
Tech genius. So, the next big park is Studios. And this
Not
one...
to be confused with Universal Studios.
No, not Universal
Completely
Studios.
different identity, everybody.
So this map is not a circular design the way Magic Kingdom is. Your entrance is way down here. And you have just random little things here. And there's... Go look at theme park history on YouTube and look at some of their history and if any ride for Studios. And there's so much amazing things. This is your goal way over here. I don't care if you don't like Star Wars. I'm going to just put my face on here so I can say it to you. I don't care if you don't like Star Wars.
That's me. I don't like Star Wars.
You go there.
You go there.
It is hands down going to be, you won't regret it, I promise you.
Rise of the Resistance is what we're talking about.
So there are two rides in there, Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run, and Rise of the Resistance. Falcon is this one over here, and I honestly don't know where the line begins for Resistance.
It's got an indoor queue, so I don't really know.
There will be
You'll see
people
the big spaceship.
Just follow
itself.
everyone else. If someone else is walking on the Millennium Falcon, then sorry, but they shouldn't have been going there.
True.
Your quickest way is to go through the entrance, and I kind of think you want to go down this way, kind of in between some of the dining here on Hollywood Boulevard and Echo Lake, past Indiana Jones, past Star Tours, which is another great Star Wars ride.
Yep.
And then just make your way on here.
You'll know when you're in Star Wars land when you start seeing the little weird animal tracks in the cement.
This is the entrance right here, which was blocked off last time we were there. I wasn't upset at all that other people were getting to go and we weren't. Well, after you get out of there, I would say probably Slinky Dog Dash
Yeah.
or Mickey and Minnie. There's two options here. You can cut through Toy Story Land and go to Slinky Dog Dash. It's another family roller coaster. It's got a couple of launches in it.
That's got a pretty long wait time on that one
Yes.
as well.
The other one is what used to be the Chinese, or it's still the Chinese movie theater, but it used to be the Great Movie Ride, is now Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, and it is technically the newest ride.
Right.
All the Star Wars ones opened up first, but this one is another one that's very big, so Star Wars has to be your first, not only because of the length of the line, but also it breaks down a lot. The Rise of the Resistance is constantly shut down, so you will definitely want to ride it early just in case it breaks down, especially if you're
Mm.
only going to be spending one day at Studios. I will come home mad and crying and sad if I don't get to ride that ride. The other ones, and this is the park which is, this used to be the worst park. I
Uh-huh.
don't know what your opinion is, but in my opinion, it used to be you had none of the stuff at Toy Story
No.
Land. Wow, there's so much stuff on the screen now.
They're like, what?
This used to not be here. None of this was here over in that place. This was a really old, lots of people love it for nostalgia
Mhm.
reason, but it was way outdated.
Yep.
And so you only had a few things. But the last two big ones are Tower of Terror and Rock and Roller Coaster. These will be the ones that your thrill seekers will want to ride.
Super fun. Don't skip them.
This is the only ride I've not done in any of the Disney parks.
You better do it this time.
Other than the ones that were new. I know Candace sent me a message saying we're over here thinking of things that we can encourage you to do while we're gone.
Yes.
So I will try. But that is, in a nutshell, Studios. Then you have Animal Kingdom.
This is the biggest park.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's a very big park.
And most of it is way up here off the top of the screen
Mhm.
for the animal safari.
Yep.
It's pretty much the safari is the only reason we're going to this park this time.
Yes.
But it's not where you should go first.
No.
Where you should go first is through the entrance, towards the Tree of Life, hang a left over here, and down into Pandora. And this is based off of James Cameron's Avatar movie series. And so there's two rides there. One of them is It's a Small World with black lights.
Very, very much so. Yep. Don't mistake that one for the ride we're telling you about, because I did.
Yeah, it's fun, it's cute, it's air conditioned, which is a big deal. It's very slow. Any kid will love it. It's got
Save that ride for when you're hot and exhausted and you just need to rest your legs. Save that ride for that time.
The other one is Flight of Passage, where you get to ride the big dragony things from Avatar. And it's motion simulator, but it's 3D motion simulator. It moves. It doesn't drop you very much, maybe a few feet at the most.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But if you get motion sickness, do take a Dramamine before. Do not do this right after eating. It's very, very, very prone to causing motion sickness. So just a heads up. But if you don't do that ride, the other big ride is over here at Expedition Everest that we talked about in length last time. It's currently shut down until sometime in May. Boo.
Presumably.
Yeah.
That
At
could
least, at least until May.
Yeah.
Most likely. So that is Animal Kingdom. Anything to add on that one?
I suggest if you're going with kiddos that are probably not tall enough for either Everest or Flight of Passage, I say go directly to the safari. Just because it's kind of a long wait, but the main reason is animals are usually more active, first thing in the morning. So you'll get your best views, I guess, of all the animals going through the safari early in the morning or late in the evening when it's not so hot and they've kind of just woke up and started their day as well.
Oh, yeah.
So that's all I would have to add to that. I agree with everything else.
My kids just told me that apparently if I do some of these scary rides, they'll act like Spider-Man an entire day. I don't know what that means.
I think that's a pretty hot bargain.
I want to know what it means to act like Spider-Man. Are they going to go like fighting bad guys for the rest of the day, or are they just going to jump on every wall?
It's intriguing enough that you should be willing to just go ahead and participate.
Yeah, but I'm a chicken, so who knows? The last park at Disney World, the fourth gate, so to speak, is the second oldest park. And me drawing on the screen won't do much good. Construction zone, construction zone, construction zone, construction over here. Last time we were there, construction over here.
Yeah, it was going a lot of
There was a bathroom over here partially under construction that was essentially a one-seater.
Yeah.
Seriously, how did Allsup's get better bathrooms than Epcot for a few minutes? Ooh.
True. That is
But
true.
There are some fun rides here. I'll go ahead and get rid of all this stuff. Guardians of the Galaxy, supposedly that's when we talked about the oopsie news last week, probably opening Memorial Day. Go there. That's your first stop.
Mm-hmm.
And your path is going to be somewhere, I don't know how you're going to get there because, as I said, there's lots of construction. It is a backwards launch spinning roller coaster indoors. It's supposed to be the largest indoor coaster in the world. Like I said, it has the backwards launch, has domed screens to tell stories, and it's not an out of control spin. They will direct your spin so that you're facing the right way to see everything as you get there. If you're not liking that stuff, head over to the Land. Your big ride there is Soarin', and it is like Flight of Passage, but without the thrills, without the 3D, and it's a little hang glider
Yeah.
simulator going throughout the world.
I would
Daughter
agree.
really
I
likes
would
it.
agree with Soren, just because that is my favorite ride. I don't know. I'm torn between Soren, but I think another great option to rope drop would be Frozen Ever After.
Yes, the parts that wouldn't fit on the screen. So, you were going to go through here. This is called the Future World Area. What's the whole name for all this? I can't remember. If you get past here, you are now in the World Pavilion. You hang a left over here. Mexico is your first stop, and then you have Norway, which is home to Frozen Ever After, the ride. And it's cute. It's not scary.
It's one of my very favorite. My whole family will tell you that one was up there in our favorites. It's pretty awesome.
You'll hear Frozen music again, word of warning to anyone who...
Love that for y'all.
If you head the other way, you'll go to the right there. You're going to hit the UK, and then you will have the France Pavilion with the newest ride in Epcot, which is Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. Yeah, I know, I did too. Why did I
Yeah.
say Soarin'? Forget Soarin'.
Forget Soren. Probably forget Frozen as well. Go straight to Remy's.
Yes. Now, if you're staying at Pop Century, Art of Animation, or the moderate one that has the Skyliner,
I can't think right now.
it will drop you off right next to the France Pavilion. So you'll be right there. Just hang a right once you get out of baggage check. And baggage check, it's not an airport. Security. And you'll be at France. That is a 3D. It is 3D, I believe. You're going to be the size of a mouse going on a trackless dark ride. It is not scary. It doesn't have any drops. It's just really neat. I've heard good things about it. It's akin to Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Yes, that's a good comparison.
So those are our suggestions for where you should go first.
Mhm.
And to reiterate, not Soarin'.
No.
Guardians or Remy's or Frozen.
The good thing about Soren is that you don't have to hurry to it because it's kind of in this pavilion to where there's restaurants, there's bathrooms, the line itself is completely indoors. So you're not gonna, if you have to wait, you're gonna be waiting in air conditioner. You have freshly pottied and you could get a drink while you're in there. So you're not gonna be miserable if you have to wait in that line.
If you have to go to the bathroom, find a cast member. They sometimes will direct you to a secret indoor bathroom that you can
Yes.
use, and they will also make sure that you get back to your party for the line. So don't feel like if you leave the line to go to the bathroom, you just lose your place.
Right.
They won't do that to you. But I think Flight of Passage and Frozen Ever After probably have the best themed queues for the lines.
Yes, I agree with that.
They're pretty neat.
Peter Pan's is pretty cool too.
Peter Pan is very interactive.
Yes.
But as a whole, you're practically in a Norwegian town
Uh-huh.
for Frozen.
Yeah.
Arendelle. There we
Also,
go.
Test Track though. Test Track, you get to build your own ride.
Yeah, and that's another one that breaks down and cannot operate when it is raining. So if you're there on a day where you're supposed to get rain, you may think about doing that one early as well.
Yeah.
All right, so where you are, I think we're covered the main section, and we're just going to go back to our other part for favorites. I'm not leaving anything out, am I?
I do want to make an honorable mention as far as a money-saving tip. Of course, there are many, many places in Disney World. Even in your resorts, there's going to be little shops that you can buy souvenirs from. But I want to say that down the road at Disney Springs or even down the road at the Kissimmee Walmart, there's a huge selection of souvenirs that you can actually buy in Disney World, but they're a lot cheaper. Take your kiddos there to shop if you have the time or if you even want to leave the park. I didn't do that. I had that in mind, but I was so hung up on not leaving whatsoever that we just went ahead and splurged and bought the souvenirs there. But things that you cannot get at the Walmart or Character Warehouse are things like the lightsaber that you can build. Just major things like that. But you can buy ears and hats and
If you're looking to pinch pennies, probably not the lightsaber would be the way to go.
no, but it's really cool. So yeah, just I wanted to throw that little tidbit out there that you don't have to buy souvenirs on property. Whereas authentic ears will cost you $32. You can get some from Walmart or Character Warehouse for like $5 to $7.
You can even order off of eBay ahead of time. I think Candace got some rose gold.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
For like $5 off eBay.
Exactly. So, depending on what you kind of want to do there, what you're wanting to give up and not, that's just a little tip.
Well, we were going to end each show talking about some of our favorite things last time.
Park hopper and
Oh, yeah, park hopper. I think we talked about park hopper a little bit. It's around $90 a day, and that'll allow you to jump from park to park after 2 o'clock. So keep that in mind that you have to wait that long currently during this COVID era to be able to park hop. Or if you add extra days, the cost per day to a ticket will actually decrease a little bit. So we found out that it would have cost $360 to park hop versus adding in $150 to add another day to our trip. And so you just want to weigh your options. If you don't do the park hopper, the downside is once you leave that park, you're not going back.
Right.
As far as in the rest of the week, if you leave during the day, you absolutely can return for re-entry in the same day. But if you don't have park hopper, you leave studios. That's the last Star Wars you get.
I keep looking at my notes, and I have one more small tidbit that's not an all-the-time money-saving tip, but special ticket events and certain times of the year will also affect your cost. Special ticket events like Christmas parties and Halloween parties, those are extremely pricey, but pros to that are they're super fun. They have special ride overlays, like they'll be themed in Halloween, and special snacks that will only be during that time. Special character greets that will only be there during that certain time. And there's hardly any lines.
And some of them include your ticket. Like some of them you do not have to have a park ticket for that day. You just have to wait till 3 or 4 in the afternoon to go.
Yes, but it is an extra cost, and it can get extremely pricey. Just a very fair warning. I'm not kidding you. It's like a whole nother day or possibly 2 in the park. So if you leave those off and you go during kind of like a downtime season, even your resorts fluctuate. Certain times of the year, resorts will be a little bit cheaper than normal, and sometimes they'll be a little bit pricier than normal.
Your typical downtimes are late January, early February before President's Day. There are some schools that get a whole week off that week, so that affects it. And also early to mid-November. But when we say not crowded, that means something else in Disney terminology.
Yes.
It'll still be crowded. You'll still be elbowing your way. You'll still have wait times. It just won't be as bad as Memorial Day, 4th of July.
Christmas, New Year's, spring break, even sometimes.
You can hear Candace talk about Christmas trips to Disney World.
I would love to, but I don't know if I could handle it.
I'll get a message from her saying, oh my goodness, it was warmer in Fridge than it was in Disney that one year.
Oh gosh.
It was horrible. Well, we want to end each show talking about some of our favorite things, and some of these are going to overlap with some of our topics. Last week we did our favorite ride. This year we're doing our favorite non-ride. We're very original with the name for this. Our favorite not a ride.
Yeah, our favorite not a ride.
And so for you, I'll let you go first.
I would have to say my favorite non-ride experience at Disney World is character interactions, hands down. I know most people have gone to Six Flags and they've met Bugs Bunny and Tweety, and they just kind of give you a wave and they give you a hug and they're on their way. But meeting characters in Disney World is just like insane. They're all in perfect character. You can ask them questions and they will answer them with a proper answer. And it is honestly just like if you were walking into the movie and meeting them. It's incredible. This is Jack and Sally. This was at the Halloween event, and this is the only time that they are available to meet, except at the Christmas party too, where Jack will be in his Santa
Did not know that.
attire. But they're really cool. Sally, she does her little ragdoll walk, like you would think she's actually full of leaves. And Jack, he's just as manic as he is in the movies.
Does her arm come off by chance?
I didn't try. I can try and tug at it next time if you want me to.
Don't get kicked out of the park.
Don't skip out on characters, guys. They're really awesome, especially if you have little girls. And, even your kiddos by cast members are referred to as like prince and princesses all throughout the day. That might be kind of like, oh gosh, gag me to some, but I ate it up. I loved it.
I mean, look at the smiles there.
Yes. And
look at the smile here, too.
Oh, man. Yeah. My husband, that's his favorite Disney movie, so we had to do it. And I'm so glad we did. You can't go wrong with any character, honestly, really. That's my favorite.
And that kind of segues into what my favorite is. My favorite is actually not even free or included with anything. It's the Memory Maker package. And so the Memory Maker, if you're there for one day, is $70. If you order early, it's $169 for your whole trip. And what the Memory Maker will do is there are certain things that are, you have on-ride photos, you have professional photographers there at the park that you can go up to, and they will take your picture, and you can get high quality.
The photo with Jack and Sally was an example of a Memory Maker photo. We were just interacting and they were taking candid shots, and all of the shots they took, they put onto our Memory Maker.
I think hands down it's worth it. I do it every single trip. You come out with a ton of photos. There's lots of neat things. I'm going to go through some examples of them. But when I go to Disney World, one of my favorite things to do is take pictures.
Yes.
I annoy my family sometimes with the pictures because I'm like, we need to go to the wishing well right now, and I want to do it at sundown. I need you over here. Oh, great, there's someone proposing to his girlfriend. We're never going to get to take a picture here.
Darn them.
I know.
Get a room.
Or waiting in line 40 minutes to get pictures with the lights by the Rapunzel bathroom.
So worth it, though.
But I do love it, and just to show y'all some examples of everything, I put a few of them on here. Like I said, you have ride photos. And
normally, if you go to any amusement park, these things can cost you like $25 just to have a ride photo.
And you can even get printouts. Like I think you can get a few 4x6s and a 5x7 for free at the park.
Yep.
Like professionally printed. Otherwise, wait till you're at Walmart. It includes the permission that you need to have to be able to print them elsewhere. So, you don't have to worry about it another place saying, I don't have the rights to do this. But
if you ride they're on Slinky Dog Dash here. If they rode Slinky Dog Dash 7 more times, they'd get each photo from each time. You can't really see Brooklyn's face here too much, but you can tell she's having a good time. If they went on it again, you could, try for a better one. And you'd get all of these. Every single photo you get.
Mm-hmm. And they have several. I think this is the first time I rode that ride. That is pure terror in my face.
You look like you're having a good time.
And I think I have the same... I think I have the same pure terror look in every one of these. That's Splash Mountain. But there are certain rides. Look, see, I wasn't scared to death there.
What was that, number
this
7?
This was Space
number 8?
Mountain. You start to know where they take the pictures.
Yep.
And this was early on before anything scary, so I'm perfectly fine there. But they have a bunch of them. You have the character meet and greets where you have a professional person taking your picture. And just to go ahead and let you know about this, depending on how busy it is and your photographer, if you do not have Memory Maker, some of them will also take a photo with your phone. Like if it's not, if there are like 20 people behind you waiting, don't be a jerk and ask.
Yeah.
But if there's not that many people, just say, hey, will you? And they'll say, sure. I need to take some with my camera and scan your Magic Man, and then I'll take some with yours. Yeah. And they're usually very nice about that. And if you don't purchase Memory Maker, you'll still have them on your app. They will just have low resolution, and they will be watermarked.
And Memory Maker, obviously, is a way to save money. You do not have to have Memory Maker. Obviously, we talked about the cost of it. But honestly, it is so worth it. If you're taking this trip, you're going to want your photos. And, you don't have to say, hey, Mom, take our picture, and then switch off. Hey, Dad, you take the picture now so you can have a picture. Mm-hmm. You don't have to worry about that. Everybody gets in the photo, and it's taken care of one time.
Yeah. And they do different things they call magic shots, where they will digitally impose other things on it and have you point at the Banshee flying overhead in Pandora. And Gunner is not upset that we are taking pictures. Y'all rode Everest 7 times in a row. We did 3 times in a row, and I thought he was going to pass out.
He's like, I'm over it.
A little bit dehydrated. He was better after that. But they have little cute magic shots like this, where you have Tinkerbell dancing on the hand, Tinkerbell flying overhead at the castle. You don't even mind that there's 20,000 people behind you.
Tinkerbell's above you. That's all that matters.
Yeah. And then they have other neat things. You might be sitting there thinking, what's special about this one? But this is actually a video. They call this one a super
There they are.
That's right, back to. And so They have all of these really neat things that you can do. There are other examples that they didn't have. They have Tiny World memory shot or magic shots,
Tiny.
where it is like an overhead fisheye wide angle,
Oh, okay, yeah.
where you're looking up and you see like the entire park around you.
Oh, wow, okay.
So we haven't done that before. We're
Mm-mm.
looking forward to doing that. They have that at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge and a few other places. I can't remember
Okay.
where. But in my turn, that's one of my favorite things. I get all these pictures. You can use Shutterfly later. And what I did not know about until just a few weeks ago when I was on the phone with Disney is your Memory Maker includes a photo session at Disney Springs.
I didn't know that either.
You know where the Ghirardelli's ice cream is?
No.
We're saying these things like, oh yeah, I know exactly where everything is. Right behind that in Disney Springs, there's one of these like green screen photo deals
Okay, yeah.
with all the backdrops you can do.
Uh-huh.
You can go in there and do as many of them as you want, and they just scan your Magic Band, and that's part of your Memory Maker.
That's pretty cool.
So it is well worth it. I know it's expensive, but get it early. And if you forget to do it, you can always buy one after you're there, and all the pictures they've taken up to 3 days earlier will be included with it. So.
Yep.
But again, if you have any ideas for what you want to see at the parks, if you want to, what do you want to see me do at the park? I guess is what this is going to turn into. The way my
Ride
kids are
Tower of
talking right
Terror. Ride Tower of Terror.
now. It's going to be Ride Tower of Terror, Ride the Hulk, and Ride Velocicoaster because we're also doing Universal.
I'm going to be asking you about Velocicoaster and Hulk, so I'm going to have to
will-
have your opinion.
I might tell you about Hulk, but I'll probably tell you what Velocicoaster looks like. It's going to be kids are going to have to come up with more than posing like Spider-Man to get me on that ride.
You got to.
I mean, pose like Wonder Woman kind of.
Okay,
or something like
you
that.
can skip Velocicoaster as long as you get on Tot.
We'll see. Well, whenever my wife starts talking about how she dug her nails into my father-in-law's leg whenever she was on that, like, oh, that's a good selling point. Let me do that.
It's really fun when your bag is floating next to you and you can just, make eye contact with your bag and just, hey, come on down.
So
That's the
I'm
funnest
not
part.
like take a bag, no bag, nothing. I don't want to see anything floating. I don't want to have pointed out to me when we're on a roller coaster that you can see a different theme park when you're that high in the air. I don't want none of that
It's
stuff.
too quick, you won't even notice.
Yeah, I don't believe you. I'm kidding. All right, well, that is all we have for today. This will be, I know we had two of them really quick succession here, but due to going there, this is going to be our last show till afterwards, but I think we're going to have to break that one down in like 2 parts, I think, afterwards.
Our recap?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's a lot of stuff to go through, and I don't want to have every single episode be super long.
Yeah, and I kind of like how we're picking a topic and covering the whole topic during the whole show instead of...
We could have like part 1, this is me blacked out on every ride that I didn't want to get on.
He's going to have Memory Maker, so we're going to have to see those photos.
And there's videos too. I didn't mention that, but there are, other than the Super Zoom one, they have videos for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train
Oh, I
and
did
for
not know
Tower
that.
of Terror.
Oh, there is one for
Yeah.
the Tower of Terror. I do remember that. Yeah, that's really cool.
So we're going to have a little giveaway here where if you guess the correct decibel that I'm screaming at, you will get the piece of paper we write our notes down on. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you... I'm on YouTube now. I've got to say stuff like make sure you click that like
Hit
button.
that like button.
Like button.
Where is it?
It's I don't know. This is all backwards. My hand somewhere just somewhere. Like button, subscribe. Look at our past videos. Soon we'll be able to say past videos.
Videos, yep. We've got 2 now.
All right, but thank you guys again, and we'll be back with more magic at the end of March.
Yeah. Bye.